Welcome everyone to podcast number 6, and it's crunch time for the Rays. Final 9 games of the regular season for this team, and they find themselves 3 games behind the final wildcard spot, which is currently held by the Oakland A's. Going into yesterday, they were 3.5 games back, but thanks to the Rangers, they did move the Rays up a half game because they did beat the A's 5-4, I believe the score was. So obviously that's good for the Rays. The only unfortunate thing is, are the Rays bats going to come through for them in these final 9 games? They do play the Red Sox tonight. They go ahead and play the current AL Central leaders in the Chicago White Sox the following 4 games, to then go ahead and bring it back for the final 3 games of the season at the Trop early next week against the Baltimore Orioles. It is going to be tough for them. I want to say that they'll go ahead and pull it off and sneak into the playoffs, because at this point it will be as if they are sneaking in. So we'll see how it goes. I want to go ahead and say, like I stated, that they'll get in, but it's tough to say. If the Rays bats can obviously come through for them, get some hits and runs put together, we know the pitching is going to be there. The only unfortunate thing is the bats, the offense. Are they going to be able to come through for them? Will Carlos Pena try to hit at least 250 in these final 9 games? Or will BJ Upton continue with his streaky hitting? And that's the problem with this team is they're streaky. If they can go ahead, I should say, and put together a good streak of some kind of offensive power, as they did against the final 2 games against the Red Sox last week, and also against the Toronto Blue Jays this past weekend, we definitely don't want to see what happened at Baltimore and at New York. After those 2 series, a lot of people already said, okay, put a fork in them, they're done. Thing is that they did have a couple more weeks left in the season, and the typical Rays way, we saw them, or now we see them, currently in the hunt still for the final spot of the wild card. How they're able to do this, I have no idea. But hey, just like their improvised slogan heading into September, 162 strong, we all saw what happened in game 162 last year, to where Evan Longoria hit that into the corner of left field over the wall there, hit a homer to lift the Rays into the playoffs. This year's going to be a little bit different, though. They're not going to have a first round of series. It's going to be pretty much a first game, one and done. You beat whoever it is that you're going to beat that first game, and you move on into the series, into a playoff series matchup. It's going to be a pretty tough task for the Rays. Like I stated, I want to go ahead and say that they'll definitely pull it off, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to go ahead and put some streaky hitting together leading into the final week and a half here of the regular season. Will they be able to? Who knows? I want to say yes. Obviously, we all want to say yes. But will they be able to pull that off? It's not just Carlos Pena and BJ Upton. I didn't mean to just single those 2 out, so don't definitely get me wrong. Evan Longoria will have to hit. Luke Scott, where the heck has he been at? All these guys need to put some stuff together. Ben Zobrist needs to put it together. We need to go ahead and get some bats going. We need to get that offense going. Without that, it's not going to happen. Now, the unfortunate thing about the wild card is whoever does advance is going to immediately go ahead and play the Texas Rangers. They have the best record in the American League, so you'll be looking at a first round matchup. At least for right now, I should say. Right now, they have the best record in the American League. So if it were to stand and the Rangers continue on, they'll be playing the Texas Rangers if the Rays do get in. We all saw what happened last year, one and done. We definitely don't want to see that again as Rays fans. So they gave us another sense to believe. I want to believe. Will the fans believe? I think that's the big picture here. Needless to say, let's say the Rays do go ahead and pull it off. Let's say that they do. First round playoffs will be, I don't know, maybe the A's or the Orioles. It's not like they're pushovers. Those teams have been playing extraordinarily well this year. Obviously, they're battling with the Orioles are battling with the Yankees right now for the AL East, so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'm hoping that they do, but we'll see. Now on to the Bucks, real quickly, I should say. They lost Adrian Clayborn. The offense was bad. I still think that this team is better than the way that their offense performed in Dallas. And I say this. We saw them take shots in the preseason. We saw what they practiced in the offseason as well as in training camp, and that's throwing the ball deep. What's holding this team back? What's holding this coaching staff from basically holding back Josh Freeman? Did they scare him? Is he too afraid to make a mistake? All those questions are unanswered right now, and obviously nobody's gonna come out and say, or especially Josh Freeman, yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to make a mistake. Nobody wants to make a mistake, but is he too paranoid to not make a mistake because of what this coaching staff is trying to instill into this team this year? The loss of Adrian Clayborn is bad. Right now, I believe who'll be taking his spot is a third year guy. I want to say he's in his third year out of the University of Washington. Daniel Tuonisham. Daniel Tuonisam. Something like that. And if I'm butchering it, obviously I'll apologize, but it's a tough name to pronounce. But anyhow, he does hold the record at the University of Washington for most sacks. So that's something to build off of there. Obviously, he does have some pass rushing skills, or else he wouldn't have the record at the University of Washington. With that said, the Buccaneers, as of right now, as of this point, have not gone out and tried to fill the void, whether it be internally or externally, as far as signing some depth to the defensive end spot. Up until this point, they have not. So right now, what we're looking at is George Johnson, and I'll just go ahead and call him the University of Washington cat. That's labeled as the defensive end, positioned at the defensive end spot. Dakota Watson, they have some defensive packages to where he's included in there. So I'm sure we'll go ahead and see him take some snaps at the defensive end position as an edge rusher. So we'll definitely go ahead and see how that works out. I'm hoping for the best on that point. But needless to say, the Buccaneers do have their work cut out for them. They have to improve that offense. And this week against the Washington Redskins, right now the number one rush defense in the league is none other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They'll have to go ahead and contain that rushing attack from Robert Griffin III, or as I like to call him, thanks to Osi Umenyiora, is Bob. Bob will be coming in the Raymond James Stadium as part of the number one rushing offense in the league, so we'll see how that goes. But anyhow, thanks for listening. I'll go ahead and keep it brief this go around, and I will go ahead and see you guys next week. Be great.